The best analogy I have for shadow work helps explain why it can be so difficult to see certain traits within yourself, why you may judge some of them as bad, and why this entire progression unfolds within all of us. The analogy starts by playing this little game with me. First, imagine that you've gotten a job as a sound engineer. That's someone who specializes in manipulation of audio and removes unwanted sounds to add clarity and warmth to the original audio. And with this job, you have a mixing board in front of you. And on that board are sliders labeled honesty, confidence, emotion, intensity, and playfulness. Now, you don't have any formal training and you work on tips. So, in order to earn enough to survive, you have to successfully adjust all the different sliders so that the maximum amount of people are happy with the audio, which results in lots of cash. Now, you've got plenty of opportunities to practice your new trade because life is but one massive chat. So, every time you're about to speak, whether it's out loud, in text, using body language, or just reacting, you're standing in front of this mixing board. When you first started this job, it felt very freeing. You didn't consciously think about manipulating your audio. You just let it flow, however felt natural and sounded good to you. And whatever came through, you weren't thinking about how it would land to anyone else. That was your starting point. But before long, your output wasn't being acknowledged with money. People walked right past your audio and didn't even toss a coin your way. Your very survival was at stake unless you did something drastic. So you said to yourself, let me adjust my sliders. Over time, you began to notice which settings got the best response. When you turned up certain traits, people liked it. They responded, they engaged. And when you turned others up, things fell flat. Best case scenario, the flatness was subtle and only you noticed it, but more often what you said landed badly. It made some people uncomfortable and they walked away. Or you felt embarrassed by how you sounded, maybe even ashamed, and you learned fast, don't do that again. And now, before anything comes out of your mouth, you adjust those levels. With one person, you turn up honesty and let things flow. With another person, you lower emotion and smooth everything out. With someone you want to impress, you raise confidence, but you lower your emotion. And in some situations, you overcompensate, pushing your playfulness or intensity higher than what actually feels natural just to stay in the conversation and feel relevant. Some of those sliders, trying them out just never resulted in things that people wanted to hear. Maybe you expressed something honestly and it didn't get received well. Maybe you showed emotion and it seemed like too much for someone. Maybe you were confident and someone took it as arrogance. So instead of playing with those traits, you just pulled them all the way down and it never seemed like the right situation to let them surface again. So you stopped touching them altogether. And sometimes those parts were things that you actually liked about yourself, parts that felt natural, even meaningful to you, but they didn't land well to the majority, so you put them away anyway. That's your shadow, according to Carl Jung. Don't get it wrong, the shadow isn't inherently bad. It's not there because it's negative. It's in the shadows because it didn't get accepted or validated or responded to wherever you were at the time. But rest assured, those shadow aspects, while dusty and unpracticed, are not gone. Either way, naturally you start favoring what works and pulling back what doesn't, and slowly your mixing board is your main survival tool. Without the ability to adjust your audio and change it on the fly, you think you'll be ostracized, and that means no friends, no relationship, no life. So you amplify those certain settings, the ones that consistently got approval, the version of you that knows how to please, how to respond acceptably, how to present in a way that works in most situations. And that, my friend, becomes what Carl Jung called the persona. Just like putting certain settings on high and pushing others down because people responded to them, Your persona is built from the parts of you that work in the conversations you've been in. But it's not the full picture. It's just what you decided could be heard. It's now feeling safer to play your audio, and that's because there's a part of you that has taken over the board and only plays a public version of you. You don't have to worry now about sliding and adjusting because the sliders are moved automatically without even thinking about it. You might even think that this is the real you, but it's not. It's your new manager, the one who only thinks about your survival and bases its decisions on what you felt a long time ago, not on current adult reality. It's the part of you who is now doing the real-time adjustments, pulling things back before they go too far, and rewording things before they're said. It's the ego. And this is not your enemy, even if it seems like it is right now. Getting close and personal with your ego is how you become friends with it and create a new rhythm for yourself, one that is authentic and where you are truly free again. But how do you make friends with your ego? Over years and years of allowing your ego unchecked reign over your soundboard means that your life has been affected in ways you don't easily see anymore. So that's why your dreams are so important, because your dreams don't use your mixing board the same way. They don't follow your usual settings. They don't keep certain sliders down just because you learned to. They move everything around. So in your dreams, you might be more direct than you usually are, more emotional, more exposed, or more intense. And it can feel confusing, like, that's not me, but it is. It's just a part of you that has one of your sliders in permanent down position in your waking life. So a dream about shoving your mom down the stairs or punching a guy in the face or letting loose by cursing or yelling at someone is saying that you are held captive by your ego in waking life. Good news is, just because a slider was turned down all these years doesn't mean you can't re-engage it. Say you realize that your sound engineer gig isn't satisfying anymore. You're not ready to give the whole thing up and throw away this powerful tool, though. But at the same time, you're a little timid because you never learned how to actually use it to your advantage. What I say to this is to start with a small practice. Start with those first set of sliders I mentioned: honesty, confidence, emotion, intensity, and playfulness. Look for just one of those from your dreams, the one that is just really calling out to you. If you need help finding it, join my free school community where you can send me your dream directly. And please also comment which of these is one that you wrestle with the most. And then just choose one little conversation where you are going to turn up one of those sliders. Say you want to turn up the honesty, and so you do. And suddenly the reaction from others is a pat on the back. I love how authentic you are. What is this newfound freedom? So you try it out again, and this time maybe someone rates you with a 1 star after that. But what I know for sure is that you will realize, though, that you aren't any different after the rating than you were before. And holy crap, I like not curating every thought, every sound, everything that is me. And that is freedom, my friend. Your dreams will actually show you step by step what you're ready for and what you're not. Even just talking to someone about a dream is a powerful way to express your otherwise unexpressed audio. Life is just one giant chat room and you haven't been talking. Let's amp it up. Let's get back to you.